Hello and welcome. This is Mama Jess. I hope you're having a better day. I have another really important thing to share with you, so I need you to listen closely. This will probably be controversial, but I do not want you to believe that you have to have a lot of friends. It is very hard to find moral young people in this very degenerate culture. The young people have become very foolish, mean, know-it-alls. They want to change the world, but they don't know how to clean their room. They don't know how to have healthy, loving, intimate relationships. There's a lot of perversion. I used to believe a lie that my worth was in having a lot of friends and looking like my friends and talking like my friends and liking what my friends liked. But I was actually a very quiet girl, very quiet and shy. I liked to be in my room and doing my art, doing my homework. And there was an enormous pressure to believe that I needed to have a lot of peers, a lot of people I was hanging out with that were young. As I've gotten older, I don't believe it's wise for young people to spend a lot of time with their peers because their peers don't know very much. And they're swapping a lot of nonsense between each other. I think that's what TikTok looks like to me, or some of these other internet groups that they really are so young and so inexperienced, and they talk like they know what they're talking about relationships and how to dress and how to be a girlfriend. And I mean, it's very sad, and I'm embarrassed for a lot of them because they don't know what they don't know. And yet, because they have a massive following, like millions of people following them, that's not an indication that they're wise. It's an indication that the society has become so base, so shallow, so immature, so ignorant, that very foolish people can have massive followings. So I don't want you to believe that your worth is in having a lot of friends, a lot of likes, a lot of time with peers. It's important to be around mature, older people, preferably parents if you have that access, but many of you don't, and that's why you're at this site. But if there's any mature group in the community or in a church or anywhere, to be around kind of you have like, what's the word? Kind of a spectrum of like really young and more your age, and then older, a little bit older, much older, where you're getting to experience a real community and learning how to be like a big brother or sister to the little ones, and seeing your value and teaching them, and they look up to you. So how you behave and your words and how you dress, like everything about you is important because those kids are looking up to you. So you have to be a good role model. And then of course you will have access to wisdom and experience from older people. So I think it's ideal to be in an environment where you have a much bigger continuum, a stratus of young and old, more like a family. I think churches have been that way for people. Unfortunately, there's a lot of degeneracy within the church environment. I know a lot of young people are leaving because of the hypocrisy. I understand that. But if you're not able to find the community that would be ideal, it's really important that you protect yourself and be patient. Don't rush into just being around anybody, especially if you realize you're very broken by life. You've had addictions or a lot of relational hurt, a lot of abuse. It would almost be better to, if you could find one counselor or just have a very small band of people that understand you and support you. But it's highly likely that you could be alone. And so I want to be a support for those who are especially lonely. Hopefully you can find other influencers that can be a source of wisdom. But definitely don't think there's something wrong with you. If anything, there could be something very right with you. That your life and your pursuit of good things can be threatening to people who don't want to live a good life, and they're jealous of you. So I want to give you permission and encourage you to be okay in these seasons. They're just seasons. It doesn't have to be the rest of your life. But it could be a lonely time of solitude to develop and to grow and to heal and to establish a value system. What do you value? Who will you allow in your life that is also pursuing good things? And so to be guarded for this time. The time for young children should be a time of being guarded, especially with the parents, and because it's such a formative time of growth, and so you don't want that child to be absorbing all this nonsense from their peers or really unhealthy, toxic people and their families. So this might be a time of solitude for you, and not to be afraid of it, not think you're doing anything wrong, and to even welcome it, because it is a sign that perhaps now you've come out of this cultural, pop culture tribe, and you're trying to get sane, to get wisdom, to get skills, and no longer participate in the nonsense. So remember, likes in this country, this culture, having a lot of friends online, it is not an indication of your worth. It is not a reflection of anything other than you might just be really immature, attracting really immature people. So don't be afraid if you're not really popular in this culture. That would probably be a good thing. All right. So again, I like the idea that if you're probably alone a lot, you don't have anyone to talk to, so get that journal out and write out, how you feel about this. Do you feel bad about yourself for not having a lot of friends? Or do you have a lot of friends, but they're not really friends? What would you want in a friendship? And it's also about being a good friend to yourself. And what does that look like? How does that feel? But definitely reassess your relationships, especially if you're in some kind of relationship with the opposite sex and it is toxic. Like, you need to get out of that. Because that is not an indication of your worth, that you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend or whatever kind of relationships are going on out there. I don't even know. But definitely protect yourself from a lot of these unhealthy ways people interact, and utilize this time of solitude to restore yourself and really learn who you are so that you can present yourself accurately to the world, and you'll begin to attract the right kind of people. Okay, I'll talk with you again. Bye-bye.